Have you ever felt the sting of failure and wonder if it was the end of the road? Today, we're diving into Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn by John C. Maxwell, a powerful guide that turns setbacks into stepping stones. In this episode, you'll discover how to embrace failure, extract lessons, and transform every challenge into growth and opportunity. John Maxwell explains that losing is one of the most painful experiences people face. When things go wrong, when a plan fails, a goal isn't reached, or a dream collapses, it can feel overwhelming. Failure can damage our confidence, shake our identity, and make us question our abilities. In those moments, everything seems to hurt: our pride, our motivation, and even our belief in the future. Maxwell emphasizes that many people see loss only as a negative experience. They focus on the disappointment and try to avoid failure at all costs. But this mindset can actually limit growth. According to Maxwell, loss is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process that leads to success. The real difference between successful people and others is not that successful people never lose. Instead, they learn how to respond to loss. While some people become discouraged and give up, successful individuals choose to learn from their mistakes. They analyze what happened, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Losing hurts, and it's normal to feel frustrated, embarrassed, or disappointed. However, those feelings should not define the outcome. Instead, they should become a signal to reflect, grow, and improve. In life, you don't always win, but you can always learn. If you adopt a learning mindset, every setback becomes an opportunity to gain wisdom, develop resilience, and become stronger. He encourages people to change how they view failure. Instead of seeing it as the end of the journey, they should see it as an important step in the learning process that leads to future success. Humility is the starting point of all real learning. If people want to grow from their experiences, especially from their failures, they must first develop a humble and teachable attitude. Without humility, it becomes very difficult to learn, improve, or make meaningful progress in life. Maxwell points out that many people struggle after failure because their ego gets in the way. Instead of honestly examining what went wrong, they blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. They may also try to protect their pride by denying mistakes or pretending everything is fine. But this reaction prevents growth, because learning only begins when we are willing to face the truth. Humility means being honest about where you are and where you still need to grow. It does not mean thinking less of yourself or lacking confidence. Instead, it means recognizing that no one has all the answers and that everyone has something new to learn. Humble people are open to feedback and willing to listen to others. They ask questions, seek advice, and carefully reflect on their experiences. When they make mistakes, they see them as opportunities to gain wisdom rather than reasons to feel ashamed. A teachable spirit is one of the most important qualities of successful people. People who continue to grow throughout their lives never assume they have reached the final level. No matter how much experience they gain, they remain curious, open-minded, and eager to learn more. Another important point Maxwell highlights is that humility helps people separate their identity from their mistakes. When someone is humble, they understand that making a mistake does not mean they are a failure. It simply means there is something valuable to learn. By maintaining humility, people can turn setbacks into lessons and lessons into progress. Instead of becoming discouraged, they become wiser and stronger with every challenge they face. Learning requires humility. When people let go of pride and stay open to growth, they create the mindset needed to learn from life's experiences and move closer to lasting success. Real learning begins with facing reality. If people truly want to grow from their experiences, especially from failure, they must be willing to see situations clearly and honestly, without denial, excuses, or distortion. Many people struggle to learn from their losses because they avoid reality. Instead of examining what actually happened, they blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. Sometimes they even ignore the problem completely because facing the truth feels uncomfortable. However, Maxwell emphasizes that avoiding reality only delays growth and prevents meaningful improvement. Reality is the solid foundation on which learning is built. When individuals honestly evaluate their performance, decisions, and actions, they gain valuable insight into what worked and what didn't. This honest reflection allows them to identify mistakes, understand the causes behind them, and make better choices in the future. Successful people are willing to confront difficult truths. They do not hide from problems or pretend everything is perfect. Instead, they ask important questions such as, "What really happened? What could I have done differently? What lesson can I take from this experience?" By asking these questions, people turn setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth. Self-awareness is a key part of understanding reality. When people are aware of their strengths, weaknesses, habits, and behaviors, they are better able to evaluate situations objectively. This awareness helps them improve their decisions and avoid repeating the same mistakes. Maxwell explains that while facing reality can sometimes be painful, it is necessary for progress. Growth rarely happens when people stay in their comfort zone. It happens when they confront the truth, accept responsibility, and use what they learn to move forward. Learning requires honesty and clarity. When people are willing to face reality as it truly is, they gain the knowledge and perspective needed to grow, improve, and ultimately achieve greater success. Taking responsibility is the first real step toward learning and growth. When people experience failure or setbacks, their natural reaction is often to blame others, circumstances, or bad luck. However, this attitude prevents learning and keeps people stuck in the same patterns. Maxwell emphasizes that growth begins when individuals accept responsibility for their actions, choices, and results. Even when external factors play a role, there is always something a person can learn from the situation. By taking ownership instead of making excuses, people open the door to improvement. Responsibility gives people control over their future. When someone blames everything on outside forces, they give away their power to change. But when they say, "What can I do better next time?" they begin to take control of their development and progress. Responsible people focus on solutions instead of excuses. Instead of spending time defending their mistakes or explaining why something went wrong, they analyze the situation, identify what needs to change, and take action to improve. Responsibility builds character and maturity. People who take ownership of their failures develop stronger discipline, better judgment, and greater resilience. They become more capable of handling challenges because they understand that their choices shape their outcomes. Learning requires accountability. When people honestly admit their mistakes and take responsibility for them, They create an opportunity to gain wisdom from their experiences. Without accountability, the same mistakes are likely to be repeated. Responsibility turns failure into a learning experience. When people stop blaming others and start owning their actions, they gain the ability to grow, improve, and move forward with greater confidence and strength. The true purpose of learning is continuous improvement. When people experience setbacks or failures, the goal should not simply be to recover emotionally, but to grow and become better than before. Maxwell emphasizes that many people miss the real value of difficult experiences because they focus only on the disappointment. Instead of asking what they can learn, they concentrate on the pain of the failure. However, people who succeed in the long-term approach setbacks differently. They focus on how the experience can help them improve. Improvement requires intentional effort. Learning does not happen automatically after failure. It happens when individuals take time to reflect, analyze their actions, and apply the lessons they have gained. This process helps them make better decisions and avoid repeating the same mistakes. Maxwell also highlights that improvement is a continuous journey rather than a single event. Successful people are always looking for ways to grow. They constantly evaluate their performance, seek feedback, and challenge themselves to reach higher levels of effectiveness. Small improvements made consistently can lead to significant progress over time. Instead of trying to achieve perfection immediately, individuals should focus on making gradual and steady improvements in their skills, habits, and mindset. Improvement builds confidence. When people see themselves growing and developing, they become more motivated to continue learning and pushing forward, even when they face new challenges. When people focus on becoming better after every experience, especially after setbacks, they turn failures into powerful opportunities for growth and long-term success. Hope is the motivation that keeps the learning process alive. When people experience failure or setbacks, it is hope that gives them the strength to keep going, keep learning, and keep improving. Without hope, people often become discouraged and lose the desire to grow. When someone believes that nothing will change or improve, they stop trying. However, when people have hope, they believe that their situation can get better and that their efforts will eventually lead to progress. Hope is not just wishful thinking. It is a belief that improvement and success are possible through learning and persistence. Hope gives people the courage to face challenges, learn from their mistakes, and continue moving forward even when the journey becomes difficult. Hopeful people see setbacks differently. Instead of viewing failure as the end of the road, they see it as a temporary obstacle and an opportunity to gain experience. This positive perspective allows them to stay motivated and focused on growth. Hope is closely connected to vision and purpose. When people have a clear picture of the future they want to create, they are more willing to endure difficulties and learn from their experiences along the way. Hope creates resilience. People with hope do not give up easily when they encounter problems. Instead, they continue learning, adjusting, and trying again until they find a better path forward. Hope fuels the learning journey. When people believe in the possibility of a better future, they stay motivated to grow, improve, and turn their setbacks into stepping stones towards success. Teachability is the pathway to continuous learning and growth. To truly learn from life's experiences, people must remain open, curious, and willing to be taught. No matter how talented, experienced, or successful someone becomes, there is always more to learn. Many people stop growing because they believe they already know enough. When someone becomes closed-minded or overly confident, they lose the ability to learn from others and from new experiences. However, people who remain teachable continue to grow throughout their lives. According to Maxwell, teachable people have certain qualities. They are willing to listen, ask questions, and seek feedback from others. They are open to new ideas and perspectives, even when those ideas challenge their current beliefs. Instead of becoming defensive when they receive criticism, they use it as an opportunity to improve. Teachability requires humility and self-awareness. People must recognize that they don't have all the answers and that others may have valuable insights to share. This mindset allows them to learn from mentors, colleagues, friends, and even from difficult situations. Teachable individuals actively look for lessons in everyday experiences. They observe, reflect, and constantly ask themselves what they can learn from both success and failure. Teachability creates a powerful cycle of growth. The more people learn, the more they improve, and the more opportunities they create for future success. A teachable spirit keeps the learning process alive. When people stay open, curious, and willing to learn, they continue developing their potential and moving closer to their goals. Adversity, challenges, setbacks, and difficult experiences is a powerful catalyst for learning. While people naturally want to avoid pain and struggle, Maxwell argues that the greatest lessons often come from the toughest situations. He points out that adversity forces reflection. When things go wrong, people are compelled to analyze what happened, why it happened, and how they can respond differently in the future. Without challenges, many lessons would never be recognized or applied. Maxwell emphasizes that adversity also builds resilience and strength. Those who face hardships and learn from them become more capable, confident, and prepared to handle future obstacles. Instead of breaking under pressure, adversity can become a teacher that shapes character and decision-making. Attitude determines the impact of adversity. People who approach difficult situations with a learning mindset see setbacks as opportunities rather than threats. They ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow because of it?" This perspective transforms painful experiences into stepping stones for success. Successful people don't seek adversity, but they embrace it when it comes. They recognize that avoiding challenges may feel easier, but it limits growth and learning. Facing and overcoming difficulties accelerates personal development in ways comfort and ease cannot. Adversity is not the enemy of success. It is a key teacher. When people approach challenges with reflection, resilience, and a learning mindset, every difficulty becomes an opportunity to grow, improve, and move closer to their goals. Problems are not just obstacles. They are opportunities for growth and learning. Life inevitably presents challenges, but the way people respond determines whether those challenges become setbacks or stepping stones. Many people see problems as purely negative. They get frustrated, overwhelmed, or discouraged when difficulties arise. However, he emphasizes that every problem contains a lesson if approached with the right mindset. Problems encourage reflection, creativity, and problem-solving skills that would otherwise remain untapped. Successful people view problems as teaching moments. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What can I learn from this situation? How can I use this to grow?" This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for improvement. Problems build resilience and resourcefulness. When people work through challenges, they gain confidence, adaptability, and problem-solving skills that help them in future situations. Each problem handled wisely strengthens character and decision-making ability. Problems reveal areas for improvement. By facing difficulties, people can identify weaknesses in their habits, strategies, or thinking patterns. Recognizing these gaps allows them to take corrective action and grow stronger. Instead of avoiding problems, they should confront them directly, analyze the lessons, and apply what they learn. This mindset turns adversity into a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Problems are not roadblocks. They are opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. Those who approach challenges with curiosity, reflection, and action will turn setbacks into stepping stones for lasting success. Bad experiences, though painful, are essential for learning and growth. Life is full of setbacks, mistakes, and failures, but these experiences provide unique perspectives that help people understand themselves, others, and the world more deeply. Maxwell points out that many people react to bad experiences with frustration, regret, or bitterness. They focus on the negative emotions and fail to see the lessons embedded in the situation. However, he emphasizes that every difficult experience carries wisdom if approached with the right mindset. Bad experiences help people gain perspective. They allow individuals to step back, evaluate their choices, and understand how their actions contributed to the outcome. This awareness provides clarity for future decisions and prevents repeated mistakes. Bad experiences strengthen character. Facing hardships builds resilience, patience, and emotional maturity. People learn how to handle adversity, manage stress, and adapt to unexpected challenges. A critical part of learning from bad experiences is reflection. By honestly analyzing what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what lessons can be applied in the future, individuals transform negative experiences into growth opportunities. Attitude shapes the outcome of bad experiences. People who approach difficulties with a learning mindset turn setbacks into stepping stones, while those who focus only on the pain remain stuck and discouraged. Bad experiences are not just obstacles, they are teachers. When people approach difficulties with reflection, perspective, and a willingness to learn, even the most painful events become valuable tools for personal and professional growth. Change is an essential part of learning and personal growth. Every lesson learned often requires individuals to adjust their thinking, behavior, or approach. Without change, learning cannot truly take root. Many people resist change because it is uncomfortable, uncertain, or requires effort. They may prefer to stay in familiar routines or cling to old habits, even when those patterns have led to failure. However, he points out that avoiding change prevents growth and keeps people stuck in repeated mistakes. Embracing change requires courage, flexibility, and a willingness to leave your comfort zone. Successful people understand that learning is not just about gaining knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge to improve and evolve. Change is the price they pay for real progress. Change often comes with discomfort. It may require admitting past mistakes, letting go of ineffective habits, or taking new risks. However, Maxwell stresses that the discomfort is temporary, while the benefits of change, greater knowledge, resilience, and success, are lasting. Change is closely tied to responsibility and reflection. By taking ownership of past mistakes and analyzing what needs to improve, individuals can make meaningful changes that prevent future failures. Growth is impossible without change. Learning without adjustment is like planting a seed but never watering it. Knowledge alone is not enough. Applying it through change is what creates transformation. Change is the price of learning. Embracing new perspectives, behaviors, and habits may feel uncomfortable, but it is the only way to turn lessons into lasting growth, success, and personal development. Maturity is the ultimate outcome of learning from life's experiences. True growth and wisdom come not just from winning or achieving success, but from how we respond to challenges, failures, and lessons along the way. Many people reach adulthood without developing true maturity because they avoid the hard lessons life offers. They may achieve success superficially, but without reflection, responsibility, and learning, their growth is incomplete. Maturity is built over time through experience, humility, and intentional application of lessons learned. Mature people handle setbacks differently. Instead of reacting impulsively, blaming others, or becoming discouraged, they pause, reflect, and extract valuable lessons from every situation. They understand that failure is a teacher and that every challenge carries insight for personal and professional growth. Maturity involves self-awareness and perspective. Mature individuals recognize their strengths and weaknesses, understand their impact on others, and continuously evaluate their actions to make better choices. They also develop patience, resilience, and emotional intelligence, qualities that allow them to navigate complex situations effectively. Maturity is closely connected to continuous learning. The mature learner never assumes they know everything. They remain teachable, adaptable, and open to new experiences and ideas. This mindset allows them to grow steadily, regardless of circumstances. Maturity increases the value of learning. The more mature a person becomes, the more effectively they can apply lessons, make wise decisions, and contribute meaningfully to their personal and professional life. Learning without maturity often has limited impact, while mature learning creates lasting transformation. Maturity is the true value of learning. By reflecting on experiences, embracing responsibility, and applying lessons intentionally, individuals develop the wisdom, resilience, and perspective necessary for lasting success and fulfillment. True success is not measured by wins or losses, but by the lessons we take from every experience. While winning feels good and provides temporary satisfaction, it is learning from both victories and setbacks that creates lasting growth, resilience, and personal development. Many people focus too much on outcomes. They celebrate wins but ignore the lessons that come with failure, or they are devastated by losses without extracting insight. However, he stresses that every experience, good or bad, contains a valuable lesson. Adopting a learning mindset is what separates successful people from the rest. Winners who embrace learning understand that even a setback is a step forward if it teaches them something important. They analyze results, reflect on decisions, and apply insights to improve future performance. Learning builds character and long-term success. By valuing lessons over mere victories, individuals develop patience, resilience, humility, and wisdom. This approach ensures that every experience contributes to growth rather than just fleeting satisfaction from winning. Learning transforms failure into opportunity. When people treat mistakes as lessons instead of disasters, they maintain motivation, adapt strategies, and steadily move toward their goals. Winning isn't everything, but learning always is. Life's true rewards come from extracting wisdom from every situation, applying it, and growing stronger with each experience. Success is not just about achieving your goals, it's about evolving through the journey. Life isn't just about winning, it's about learning from every experience, turning setbacks into lessons, and growing stronger with each challenge. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe now so you never miss insights that help you transform failures into stepping stones for success. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, but every experience moves you forward.